What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is gonna be Loving Hip Hop Atlanta Season 8, Episode 17. So we pick up this episode with the fellas. They're down to the bistro that Rashida and Kirk are opening up, the construction or whatever. We got Jock, we got Scrap, we got Frost. Um, Frost ain't talking about nothing other than opening up his bistro or whatever. He said him and Rashida still ain't seeing eye to eye on the whole Jasmine situation, whatever. Um, Jock, of course, is telling the guys about what's going on with Kendra and how that whole thing went down, and Kendra then moved into a hotel. Scrap is telling them about what happened at Amani's birthday party. At the same time, the ladies are talking. Rashida, um, her mom, Erica and her mom are talking about what happened at the birthday party. So what it sounds like went down was they came to the birthday party. Bam's mom rolled up on Erica's mom, I think it was, or Erica, and was like, "Here I am, here I am, here I am." And so then, of course, no, it must have been Erica's mom. So then Erica approached her and was like, "Yo, like who that's my mom. Who you talking to?" And I'm sure she didn't say that politely, but at the same time, in her mind, somebody done rolled up on her mother, and she's addressing the situation. Mama D was there, um, and then of course, Scrap is telling the guys his side of the story. He said that he didn't know what really went down. He just saw a bunch of commotion and he rolled up on it. And in his mind, he was protecting his mother-in-law, that's his family or whatever. Erica's end, she was like, Scrap just rolled up and started yelling and coming at me and didn't even know what happened or how the situation went down. At the end of the day, Amani got upset, ran into the bathroom, and basically her party was sort of ruined. So the adults couldn't get together and just have a good time. I don't know whose fault it was. If it went down the way they said it went down, then it sounded like it was Bambi's mother's fault. Like, why you rolling up in a party talking about some here I am, here I am? Like, that sounds like an aggressive move. You know what I'm saying? Like you rolling up on somebody. But anyway, so um that's kind of how that went down. Jock decides he gonna have a summit with the girls. He got Shakana, Carly, Sienna. I don't know why I can't get that girl name right. And his business partner, what's her name, Sharonda, um, at the shop, and he wants to basically know where the rumor came from, who started it, and what was said. Shakana spoke right up and was like, "Look, I did say something to Carly based on when I came up here, the conversation I had with people. They said you were flirting with the girls and that you was messing with the girls, whatever." She was like, "I told Carly, but I didn't say it, and but she kind of owned it." So then Carly was like, "I didn't say anything to Kendra, but I did talk to Sienna." Sienna was like, "I told Kendra." So it's like, so Jock is like, first of all, the shit's not true. Second of all, why would you be going back and telling Kendra instead of coming to me and asking me about it? Like, why are you trying to blow up my spot? Now, the shop owner, Sharonda, was like, she just kept yelling about how he betrayed her, he betrayed her, he betrayed her. And I'm wondering what she's talking about with that. Now, was Jock messing around with her at one time and then stop messing with her to mess with Kendra? And that's where all this hostility is coming from? That's kind of what it sounds like to me. And we already know that Jock and his timeline is fucked up anyway. His timeline is not what he tried to say it is. So maybe he was messing with Sharonda at one time, but stopped messing with her. So he got upset and he started telling them, basically, you know, keep my name out your mouth, don't say nothing about nothing, stay out of my life. I don't bother you, don't bother me. And Carly gets up and she walking away like, I gotta go. I ain't here for this. I gotta go. I gotta go. Jock gets up and starts throwing stuff because, of course, he can't hit the girls. And they trying to calm him down. He didn't end up knocking Shakana down. And he apologized to Shakana. And for real, Shakana was the only one in the room he wasn't mad at because she's the only one that really sort of admitted what she did and sort of took ownership of what she did. Um, but at the end of the day, she was the one that told Carly. And when Carly said that she went back to Sienna, even Chicana was like, Carly, what? Like, why would you do that? Like, why are you know what I mean? Why are you spreading shit? But then my thing is, it's Carly. Y'all know the old story of the scorpion and the frog, right? The scorpion was like, I won't, the alligator, I guess it was. And the scorpion was like, let me ride on your back. Let's cross this river. I won't sting you. And the alligator was like, yes, you will. He was like, no, I won't. You can trust me. They get to the other side of the bank. The scorpion stings the alligator. And as the alligator's dying, he said, why did you do that? He was like, I was a scorpion. I say the same thing about Carly. What do you expect from Carly? You tell Carly some tea, some juicy details, she gonna find a way to repeat it. That's just Carly. Um, we see Tokyo and her mom, and they have a good relationship. And her mother was saying, "Look, I call you. You don't come home and visit enough. I call you, you don't answer my phone calls. What's really going on?" And she was saying, how she really hasn't had a chance to fully grieve her grandmother. Excuse me, haven't had a chance to really fully grieve her grandmother. And her mother was like, "But you can call me and talk to me." And she said, "How can I call you to talk to you about losing my grandmother and you lost your mother?" She was like, "I don't think that's fair." And I understand exactly where Tokyo was coming from, because when I lost my grandmother, I felt the same way. I felt like I couldn't call my mother and talk to my mom about how I was feeling, or when I was having a bad day, or when I was missing her, because I was like, I didn't want to make my mom sad. Maybe my mom was having a good day. You know what I mean? I didn't want to make her sad and bring her down. So I understood where Tokyo was coming from. And then they got to talking about her dad, and come to find out, her dad is from Africa. They don't say what country. Um, but her mother was like, I don't want you to think your father hated you or your father didn't love you. Your father did love you. But circumstances were that he had to go home. He had to go back to Africa. I didn't want to go with him. And he couldn't, once he got there, he couldn't get back in the country. She said, and then once I divorced him, it was almost like that was it. But I still, I mean, if I were Tokyo, that wouldn't really make me feel a whole lot better. You know what I mean? Like, it would explain why he's not physically there, but it wouldn't explain why he hasn't made more of an effort to be a part of my life. But it looks like her and her mom had a really good conversation, and she invited her mom in town so they could go to Rashida's mother-daughter brunch thing. Then it was this weird scene between Scrappy and his mom. He basically went over there to check his mom on how that whole situation went down at Amani's party. And he felt like no matter what anybody else did or what else happened, his mother should have been the bigger person and handled it or whatever. And I'm like, so again, from the version of the story we're getting, it sounds like Bambi's mother started it. Why is everybody mad at Erica and Mama D, but not mad at Baby's mother? Like, I'm not understanding. And Scrappy was like, look, that's my family. I'm going to protect my family. And Mama D was like, yeah, but you kicking me to the curb. And he was like, no, you got to understand that I got to protect my family. And I'm just like, I don't know, y'all. Again, I only have one that side of the story, but Mama D, Erica told the same story, and Scrap wasn't there. So I'm just wondering, I understand happy wife, happy life type situation, and that is Bambi's mother. Like, I get that part of it. But I just feel like, why are you so quick to just believe that your mother should have been the bigger person if Bambi's mother started it? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with how Scrap is handling it, but I'm on the outside looking in. But then he starts going off about how don't nobody care about him, nobody checking on him. He got into the car accident, almost lost his life. Then he had the baby. Then this happened, and that happened, and how don't nobody care about him, and nobody thinking about him. And instead of dealing with this stuff, he should be dealing with his friend who almost died. His friend who was in the car and through no fault of his own almost died, and he way off than him. And that's who I really need to be worried about. That's who I really need to be checking on. And I'm here dealing with this nonsense with grown women who don't know how to act. And I was just like, how we get from there to there? You know what I mean? Like, I get where he's coming from, and I don't disagree with what he's saying, but I'm like, what that got to do with what y'all talking about with your mama? But okay. Then we have this scene. We see Erica going to the hospital to have the twins. Both of them were underweight. I think anything under 5 pounds is considered a preemie, even if it wasn't born premature. If I remember correctly, I used to work at the baby superstore when I was in college, and our preemie section. So basically, preemies anything under 5 pounds, and both of the babies were born under 5 pounds, so they had to stay at the hospital. They didn't come home with Erica, but she said that she just keeping it in prayer that everything is going to turn out well for the kids and everything. And again, if you follow her on social media, you know that they're doing really well from what she shows. They're doing well. All right, here we get into the shiznit. Okay, we see Pooh with her daughter. Pooh bragging on her daughter. Daughter's 25. Now here's the thing. Pooh said her daughter was working on her PhD. Her daughter said she was in dental school. It's two different degrees. A DDS and a PhD are two different things. Now, that's not to say her daughter can't be working on both. I don't think that's what it was. I think Pooh misspoke and just thought that a doctorate is a doctorate is a doctorate, and it's not the same. But neither here nor there. But her daughter's 25 years old in dental school, um, has her own business, has her own home, doing really well for herself. And of course, Pooh was talking to her like they girlfriends down to the bar. And they talk about the whole Carly situation and how Carly's lying and how Carly done turned the other girls against her. And her daughter and her daughter said in a nice way, like, Ma, you really too old to be hanging with them anyway. Like, why are you worried about their validation? Um, but her daughter was a little snotty. You could tell that she had a little snottiness in her and how she was sort of talking. And then the whole sex thing came up, and her daughter seemed to be very much aware of her mother's sex life. Talking about something, well, it's not a big deal. I mean, if you ate ass, you ate ass. I mean, I wouldn't know nothing about that, but I mean, if you did it, you did it. And I was just like, so that's how we talking to our kids? I mean, you are on a reality show talking about it, but clearly she knew about it before the reality show. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, wow. So we just talking to our kids about threesomes and okay. I mean, if you like it, I love it. If it works for y'all, far be it for me far be it for me. And they're gonna go to Rashida's event because at first Pooh was saying she wasn't gonna go, and her daughter was like, "Why you gonna let them keep you away? I mean, if you want to go, we should go. I want to go." So they're gonna go to the event. Then we see Carly with her daughter, and her daughter talking about how she's gonna drop out of school or dropped out of school because um some people came back to her about the situation between Pooh and Carly and how, people came back to her talking about it or whatever. And of course, Carly was like, look, first of all, don't let nobody stop you from doing what you want to do. If you in school, you in school for you. Don't let rumors and all of this. She said, and second of all, I got something for Miss Pooh because I got the lie detector test and it came back. And so I'm gonna make her look stupid because I'm gonna prove present it to everybody so they'll know that I was telling the truth and she was lying. She told them about Mo. Her, daughter was like, well, where's Mo? And she's like, Mo not here right now, but don't you worry about that. But all I'm gonna say to you is don't let no man disrespect you. And her daughter was like, well, what's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Don't you don't have to worry about it. You just know that Pooh needs some counseling, but don't worry about me. I'm like, what? Like if my mother said that to me about the guy she about to marry, I would be worried. He need counseling. Don't let nobody disrespect you. What the hell you got going on up in here, mama? You know what I'm saying? And it was weird. But of course they're going to the mother-daughter luncheon as well. Jock them rolled up on Kendra at her job. Jock said, you won't answer my calls, you won't return my texts, you done moved out the house, you done blocked me everywhere. I need to talk to my baby. He done rolled up at her job and she is embarrassed, like, what the hell? She was like, this is not the time or the place. And if you love me as much as you say you do, then you're going to respect me enough to give me the space that I need to figure this out. Poor Jock. Poor Jock. He said, look, my life just don't work without you. It just don't work. I said, oh, Jock. Oh, poo, 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 poo. Um, but that's what happens when you have a reputation. Even if you're not guilty, you're guilty, baby. So we have the mother-daughter luncheon or dinner, I think it is. Everybody's there with their mama. Mama D done bought her daughter that we don't see very often, but her daughter was there. And so Shakana was the host. And so what Shakana was doing was going from table to table, and the mothers and the daughters were um, giving testimonies on each other, why I love my mother, why I love my daughter, and that kind of thing. So of course they went table to table, and everybody was saying these wonderful things about their moms and all this other stuff. They get to Pooh. Pooh daughter starts talking about how a mother's success is a reflection of their children's success, and I'm so successful at 25 years old, working on my becoming a dentist and having my own business. And so, mother, this is because they had made it because the daughter had made a comment earlier about Carly's daughter being in undergrad for 6 years, talking about something don't take that long to get a degree. So that was clearly a dig at Carly's daughter about how long she been in school and that kind of thing. So then they go over to Carly. Carly's daughter talked about how strict Carly was on her and how much she loves her daughter and everything, and I mean loves her mom and stuff because her mother raised her, keep her away from certain things and so forth. So then Carly starts being Carly and being all dramatical and crying and talking about how, people have been picking on her daughter and her daughter even dropped out of school behind it, but she's there to set the record straight because she's got this lie detector test and all the lies that people told on her. It's been proven that it's a lie. It's been proven that it's a lie. So then Pooh gonna stand up talking about what accusations, Carly? What accusations you talking about? What lies you talking about, Carly? Because Pooh gonna say in her confessional, she done went and got a lie detector test. Wasn't nobody there. I don't believe none of that. Which I can understand. Like you went and got a lie detector test and nobody was there to be a witness to it. You didn't even take the Love and Hip Hop cameras with you to witness you taking it. I don't know if I would believe none of it either. To be honest with you. But Pooh gonna stand up and start talking about you know um what is it, Carly? What is it, Carly? So then Carly daughter gonna stand up, kick off her shoes, and run up on Pooh. I mean, of course, security broke that up. But I was just like, what just happened here? She going after Pooh. Pooh calling her all kinds of bitches and hoes and talking about Carly as a hoe. And then they start escorting the daughter out, Pooh and her daughter starts yelling, bachelor's degree only takes 4 years. You've been there for 7 years. 7 years. Carly sitting at the table crying, holding up the damn lie detector test paper. Honey, it was a mess. And then poor Rashida was just like, I thought that we could just get together. I thought we could get together and not have all this bullshit. So that's what went down. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments.